Now it is, as of yet, unclear if the Microsoft purchase of Activision is actually gonna go through. But what is clear is that PlayStation is incredibly upset about it. Not just their fanboys, but the corporation itself is acting incredibly salty about the fact that Microsoft is going to possibly buy out Activision Blizzard. To the point that even Jim Ryan, the CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, or basically the boss of PlayStation, is crying about it in interviews and talking about how it's unfair. It's so fucking pathetic, honestly. Jim Ryan told Game Industry Biz that Microsoft's Call of Duty offer was inadequate on many levels. Microsoft apparently offered to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation for 3 more years than the current agreement. Now, to me, that sounds really good, because Microsoft doesn't have to do anything. If they wanted to, they could make Call of Duty exclusive to their own console, yet they offer PlayStation to let Call of Duty be on their console for 3 extra years, which is, 3 extra games they would not otherwise be getting. And yet, Jim Ryan has a problem with this. Now, let's read his statement and see if he actually has a valid argument.
I hadn't intended to comment on what I understood to be a private business discussion, but I feel the need to set the record straight because Phil Spencer brought this into the public forum. Microsoft has only offered for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation for 3 years after the current agreement between Activision and Sony ends. After almost 20 years of Call of Duty on PlayStation, their proposal was inadequate on many levels and failed to take account of the impact on our gamers. We want to guarantee PlayStation gamers continue to have the highest quality Call of Duty experience, and Microsoft's proposal undermines this principle.
Stop fucking crying, bitch! Where? I don't wanna fucking hear it!
Shut the fuck up, Jim Ryan, you crying bitch. Xbox literally gives you another 3 extra years of COD on your console, and you get upset about it because you want COD to stay on your console indefinitely? And it's so funny to me that they are the ones getting upset about this, that PlayStation are the ones getting upset that COD won't be coming to their platform anymore, possibly in a couple of years, right? Because if there's any company in the gaming industry known for blocking games from going to other consoles, it is PlayStation. They've had a near monopoly on like the biggest JRPG franchises for decades now, like Final Fantasy and Persona. It's only recently that those series have been starting to move to different platforms, but still a lot of the games within the Final Fantasy series, for example, are still exclusive or going to be exclusive to PlayStation. Yet they're the ones crying that COD might not come to their console anymore in a couple of years. Okay, man. Like, they're actually out here saying that it's unfair to PlayStation players if COD doesn't come to their console anymore. Like, it's not unfair that you basically have been keeping series like Final Fantasy and Persona hostage for a couple of decades. Nah, that was totally fair, because then you were making money, right? But now you're gonna lose money, so now it's not fair. I also find it to be very cringe how he's like, oh, I thought this was a private business discussion, but I guess we're gonna make it public. Like, dude, this isn't YouTube drama. It's not like someone leaked your private DMs. Calm the fuck down. Anyway, let's look at some tweets from some PlayStation fanboys. Let's see what they have to say about the situation. The same way he didn't let us have Final Fantasy VII was inadequate.
Final Fantasy VII originally was a PlayStation game. Nothing changed.
See, guys, this is the way it works. It's okay for PlayStation to, keep Final Fantasy VII, which is also a third-party game, exclusive to their console by paying money to, Square Enix. That's okay, because they have been holding Final Fantasy hostage for decades, so it's okay for them to do it longer. It's not okay for Xbox to do it because they haven't been doing it for years. They've just started doing it now, so it's bad. Basically, it's only good if PlayStation and their fanboys are profiting from it. In this case, they're not, so they're gonna have to cry about how unfair it is.
Phil Spencer was speaking through his teeth the entire time. Shocking.
Yeah, there were a lot of replies in the thread like this, where people were saying, oh, Phil Spencer lied? Wow, what a surprise. Like, as if he always lies, but they apparently were under the impression that Phil Spencer said that Call of Duty would just for always be on the PlayStation console. Even though, as many people pointed out, he gave an interview with The Verge where he revealed that Microsoft and PlayStation back in January agreed that COD would be on the PlayStation for a couple extra more years before it, inevitably would become, Game Pass exclusive, I guess, because it's still gonna be on the PC. I know people love Phil Spencer and he has done a lot of good, but saying you hate exclusives and then actively purchasing companies to take their content away from other platforms while saying you hate exclusives make you look pretty disingenuous. Wow, this is actually somewhat a valid argument, what the fuck? There are some problems here though. Like, yeah, PlayStation is losing games, obviously, but besides PlayStation, I feel like Phil Spencer has made it so that a lot more games are far more available for a lot more people, mainly by putting Xbox exclusives day one on PC, day one on Game Pass. And you also gotta realize, while yes, he might personally hate the idea of exclusives, right? And his games aren't, Microsoft games aren't really exclusive since they're on Xbox, but they're also on PC. There is still a business aspect to this whole thing, right? And their only real competitor is PlayStation, because Nintendo kind of just doing their own thing. But PlayStation is their only actual competitor, so it wouldn't really make sense to have their games on PlayStation as well, because why would people go out and get Game Pass, or get, a PC or an Xbox and then get Game Pass or buy their games just off the store, when you can just get those games on PlayStation as well? I know it's anti-consumer, I know it's bullshit, but at least Xbox is somewhat trying to get more people to be able to, play their games, which PlayStation has, yes, they have put some of their games on PC, but they're not really making an effort.
Buying out the biggest third-party publishers is in and of itself inadequate on as many levels. Phil needs to put down Daddy Microsoft's wallet and create something himself for once.
I like how this guy is just ignoring all the studios that were created by Xbox, like the Coalition or the Initiative, or even how studios like, I think they're called Playground Games, the guys who usually do Forza, who are now making a new Fable. None of that shit, that doesn't exist, right? It's only them buying out studios. It's not, they're not creating anything, they're just buying out shit. And also, I don't really see the big problem with buying, like, new talent. Both Nintendo and Sony have done the same thing in the past. Yes, neither of them have bought out, like, a company as big as Activision Blizzard. But then again, neither of them has that much money. Like, if Sony could have bought out Activision Blizzard, they would have. And you wouldn't have had a problem with it, because if Sony does it, it's fine. Anyway, boys, this is the end of the video. Honestly, this whole thing is fucking pathetic. That Jim Ryan would it's unfair that Phil Spencer is gonna take Call of Duty away from us. Dude, you've been blocking so many fucking games from going to other platforms for decades. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, this is the end of the video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.